What's up, guys? I'm Richie Castellano. This is a tutorial video for my song Sinister Intentions. In the interest of not having this be a 3-hour-long video, I'm going to move at a pretty steady pace. So in the description, I'm going to put links to different sections of the song, so they're time links. So say you only want to learn the chorus melody or something, just click on that link and it'll bring you to the exact spot in this video where I cover that. So let's get started. Okay, before we get started, I want to let you know that I'm tuned to standard with a drop D. So that's E, B, G, D, A, and drop D. Okay, so first we'll do the intro clean part. You start with this shape here, and that's just your first finger on the second fret of the third string and your middle finger on the third fret of the second string, or the B string. So here's how you pick this. Open D, the low D string, third string, second string, first string, second string, third string. And then we do this little pattern here, or this little shape, and that's first finger, third fret on the third string, and your pinky on the sixth fret of the second string. And now you're going to pick from the fourth string, or the D string, straight down. There's that nice little ringy quality to it. So, and here we do this picking pattern. And that's 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. When I say 3, 1, 2, I mean third string, G string, E string, first string, B string, second string. Then up. Okay, so now we have this chord shape, which is sort of like a B flat thing. Your first finger goes on the first fret of the fifth string, and your pinky goes on the third fret of the second string. And you're gonna pick 5, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3. And now we have this really annoying shape, which is middle finger on the fifth fret of the low D string, first finger on the third fret of the G string, or the third string, and then pinky on the sixth fret of the second string, or the B string. Like that. So I'm picking that low note first, third string, and I go straight down from the third string, then back to the second string. And then I'm picking 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. And the very last time I just pick straight down 3, 2, 1, then to a D power chord. So there's the clean intro. Now let's talk about what I'm playing on top of that in terms of lead. So the first thing we have there with that lead in the intro is one of these laser beam effects. It's like a John Petrucci laser beam. So the way you get that is you slide and pick at the same time, then land on the intended note. The intended note here is an E note, which is on the 9th fret of the G string. So I pick, slide, land to that note in vibrato. Then 10th fret on the G string, then 12th fret on the D string. And then I have this 3-per string pattern. Starting on the D string, I'm doing 10, 12, 14, and I'm doing a sequence. 10, 12, 14 on the next string, 10, 12, then back to the 14 on the D string. Then next string again, 10, 12, 14, half bend, and bring it back down. The next lick is, we have a bend on the D note over here on the 15th fret of the B string. Just a whole step bend to the E. And then we have okay, let's get really slow. First string, 17, 13, 15, 13, slide down, next string, 13, next string 12, slide down to 10, back to 13 on the B string. Now we go 9 on the G string, half bend, down, next string 10, next string 12, and back up to the D string 12. So this next lick is this little jazzy sequence, and it goes like this. Okay, so what that is, it starts here. Very important, it's easy to slide these because you can do it like this. But I sort of preferred the way it sounded when I picked both of those lower notes. So it starts on the G string with 9 and 10, and then 2 11s on the B string. And then on the next string, we're going to do 10 and 11, 13 on the E string, and then 11, 13 on the B string, then 15 twice on the E string, and that is 13, 15 on the B string. So we have... Now, this is a really cool sort of bending thing you can do. You bend up the 15th fret on the E string, and while you have that whole bend going, you, with your pinky, you play the 16th fret. So bend, play the next note, then bring the whole thing down. Now on the next string, and you go back down to that 13th fret, and now on the B string, 15th fret, bend that a whole step, and then you play with your first finger the 13th fret on the E string. And then you end on the 15th fret on the 3rd string. So that little bendy thing is... So the whole sequence is... All right, this next lick is this faster sequence that goes like this. And here's that. Starts with your first finger on the 17th fret of the E string. 17, 18. Then the next string, the B string, you're going to do 20. Back to 17 on the E string. Down to 18 on the B string. Then back to 20 on the B string, then 17 on the B string, 18 on the B string, 19 on the G string, 17 on the B string, 17 on the G string, 19 on the G string. Then we go down, we shift positions here. First finger on the 15th fret, and we're going to do like a trill and a slide down, like a hammer-on pull-off sort of thing, between 15 and 17, then slide down to 14. So it's... So that's the intro lead. Next we're going to look at the chorus, what I consider to be the chorus, the main melody part, and we'll look at the rhythm part first. It's palm muted 16th notes. But before we get into that, it builds up from the intro. So we have this sort of... And we have the main sort of chuggy riff. That's sort of difficult to play, but check that out. That's on the low D string, and I go open 1, and I go straight across to this B flat power chord. And then it might be easier to just do the single notes. It sounds pretty good, but if you want to do the power chords, that sounds a little better. So that's open 1, B flat, then open 1, A power chord. Okay, so that's that little lick. Now, starting at the chorus, we have palm muted 16th notes. And here's how it goes. Okay, what that is, it starts off here on a D, 5th fret A string. It's mostly on the A string, so it's 5, 8, 7, 4, 1, 5. Now we have this diminished run. It's all downstrokes. It's sort of, I guess you can call it a sweep lick. It's all downstrokes with hammer-ons. So we start here. Now this is a really cool diminished pattern. You could use it for a lot of things. I learned this from gypsy jazz. This is like really in Django style music, they use this a lot. So starting here on the 4th fret of the A string, you play this C sharp note, hammer on to the 7th fret. Now that shape is a minor third. The cool thing about this is you can just go to the next string and move up a fret and do the same thing. And that works for those 3 strings. So that's 4, 7, next string, 5, 8, next string, 6, 9. And try to get the picking to be consistently down there. I'm doing what you'd consider to be a rest stroke, just sort of digging in and sweeping as I go. Now you go back one. So if something happens, something annoying happens when you get to the B string, the pattern doesn't work anymore, or else it would sound like this. We don't want that, so we have to go up an extra fret there. So when we're at the B string, we have to do 8, 11. So it's 4, 7, 5, 8, 9, 6, no. Let me do that again. 4, 7, 5, 8, 6, 9, 5, 8, 6, 9, 8, 11. So we have... And that's how that lick goes. Then we repeat. Now it resolves. And that just resolves over here on the 10th fret B string. Okay, while that's happening, there's also a harmony part that kicks in for the second half of that. And that's on the neck pickup. And that starts up here on the 10th fret G string. And here that goes. So it's all 16th notes palm muted. 10, 14, 12, 9, next string, 4th string D string, 12th fret, back to the 3rd string, 10th fret. Okay, the arpeggio pattern is similar. It starts on the 8th fret of the 4th string. And same deal, you're doing minor thirds, move up a fret. So we have 8, 11, 9, 12. But here it's a little more annoying to play this because now we have to do the shift here because we're at the B string. So we have 8, 9, 10, 12, 11, 14. Then go back to 9, 12, 11, 14. And then we have 12, 15, and then resolve it on the F, which is the 13th fret on the E string. So here's what that sounds like all together, nice and slow. Remember, it's all downstrokes, hammer-ons. So that's the rhythm part under the chorus. All right, let's go over the main melody of the song, the chorus melody, which sounds like this. Okay, what that is, you start with your middle finger and you slide on the G string up to the 14th fret. And then you're going to play with your ring finger, you're going to play the 15th fret. And then you go back. So you do those 2 notes again. And now with our first finger, we're going to do a half step bend on the 12th fret of the E string. So it's... Now, I use my third finger here, my ring finger, on the 15th fret of the B string, and then my middle finger on the 14th fret. And now, I do a rake here, very like Brian May sounding sort of rake. A rake is where you percussively hit the strings before your target string. So it sort of gives the notes a little more oomph. And if just so you know what that is, that's 17th fret with a half step bend, up and down. Now I have 15, 17, 18, and on the B string, 18 twice. Okay, next we have another diminished run, but this is more of like an Yngwie style run. This is a 3-string diminished arpeggio. It looks like this. So that is, the way I play it is sort of the bad way with 3 fingers, but you can play it with your pinky if you want to have good technique. So this is 15th fret with your 3rd finger on the E string. Pull off. Now I'm starting on an upstroke. Pull off to 12. Upstroke for 14 on the B string. Then downstroke 15 on the G string. Then downstroke 14 on the B string. Downstroke 12 on the E string. And that's like a 3-string sweep arpeggio. So we have, now because this is a diminished pattern, you can just move it up 3 frets, a minor third, and it still works. So those are 16th notes there I'm doing. And now I double it up to 16th note triplets, I think. So it's and then I end that on the 22nd fret of the E string. All I'm doing is moving that in minor thirds. Same exact notes up 3 more frets. And I slide down to the 17th fret from the 22nd fret. Okay, now the next lick is sort of a nice mealy lick. So this is 15 on the E string, 17 on the E string, 18 on the E string. So that goes, and then you come back down on the B string to 18. So follow me. So I come all the way back down to this D. And it's all just the same 3 frets on the first 2 strings. It's 15, 17, 18. (18, 17, 15). Now I go the other way, and this is starting on the B string, 15, 17, 18. And now I play 15 on the E string, back down to 18, 17. So it's, and it's just back and forth. And the way I'm picking that is just 1 downstroke, all hammer-ons, upstroke, downstroke, and then another downstroke for so really slow, and of course it resolves on the 3rd string, 18th fret. So from here it's So the whole lick sounds like this. Now we have a series of B-flat arpeggios, B-flat major arpeggios. This is a bit of a stretch. So starts with your pinky on the 10th fret and your first finger barred on the 6th fret across the first 2 strings. And then, starting on an upstroke, all upstrokes. Now we're going to switch to a downstroke, 3rd string, 7th fret. Another 3-string sweep pattern. So it's up, 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 down, down, down. So we do that once. Then we invert the chord, still a B-flat chord, but different order. And we do same picking pattern too. It's just E string, 13, 10, then B string, 11. Now picking down, G string, 10, B string, 11, E string, 10. So far we have okay, now we have this really high 2-string B-flat arpeggio. So it's, let me do it again. And that's just, well, that's hard. It's 18, pull off to 13, then your middle finger on the on 15 on the B string, and back to 13 on the E string. So the whole thing. So next we have this repeating pattern. That's pretty simple to play. It starts over here on the 17th fret on the E string, and you're gonna go 17, and it's legato, so you can, you know, pick less and hammer on and pull off. That's just one pluck for all those notes. So that's 17, 18, 17, 15. And then on the next string we have 18, 17, 15, and those I pick. And then I slide down to 14. And now on the next string, starting on the 3rd string, with my middle finger on the 14th fret, I do the same exact lick. And because the intervals are the same between the first 2 strings and the D and G string, I can do the same lick and I don't have to move anything, just my frets. And that, just so you know, that's 14, 1 pick, 14, 15, 14, 12, and then we pick all these. The next string on the D string, that's 15, 14, 12, slide down to 11, and then we pick the last note, the D, on the 12th fret. Now really slow. Okay, now there are harmonies in the main chorus, and those are very tricky to play. The first one's it's not so bad because it's the same shape we're using in the main part. The main part, as we discussed before, is... So all I'm doing is I'm just inverting this down 3 frets, same lick, pretty much. So that's all that is. So instead of starting on the 15th fret, same exact lick, just starting on the 12th fret. And then the triplets. And now, instead of going, I harmonize that by going 17, 13. So again, that harmony is... Okay. The ending part, the B-flat arpeggio, that's a lot trickier because we have this crazy stretch. I'm sure there's a better way to play this. I just liked the way this sounded and it made things easier for me. Let I'm sure you can play it like, yeah, and that's probably way easier. But I liked it this way better. I like the way the picking worked out and everything. So it's, the way I'm playing it, is this crazy stretch here, which is 6 to 1. And then you're going to play 3, 3, 3, 1. And that's the same 3-string arpeggio picking pattern we did before. Up, pull off, and then up on the 3rd string, I'm sorry, 3rd fret, 2nd string, then down on the 3rd fret, 3rd string, down on the 3rd fret, 2nd string, down on the 1st string, 1st fret. And now we slide up to, which is the same as the other lick, but I'll just go over it one more time. That's up on 10, pull off to 6, up on 6th fret, 2nd string, down on 7th fret, 3rd string, down on 6th fret, 2nd string, down on 6th fret, 1st string. And now we do a 2-string arpeggio, invert that up again, starting with an upstroke on the 13th fret, pull off to 10, then down on 11 on the B string, then down on 10 on the E string. So the whole thing. Okay, so now we have a really annoying lick. The main part is this. The harmony is this. Okay, the way you play that is same sort of picking, and that's what makes it sound tight. You're going to do one pick and all hammer on and pull off on the 1st string, and that's just, that's 13, 15, 13, 12. Now we have on the B string 15, 14, and then the same thing on the G string. And then we're going to do the same exact lick starting on the G string, 10th fret. So, you know, one pick, 10, 12, 10, 9. Then the next string we're going to do 12, 11. And then on the next string, the 5th string, we have to do 13, 12. So it's, and then we end it on the 12th fret. That's it. Okay, let's go over the rhythm and what I'm considering to be the verse. It starts off with palm muted 16th notes, so 4 notes. And then the 5th note on beat 2 is not palm muted. But you don't ring it out, you mute it, but not palm muted. You let it ring out for like an 8th note. And then we have, and that's the 1st fret, so it's oh, 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 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, oh, 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 oh. And now we're going to use our 3rd finger on the A string, the 5th string, 5th fret, pinch harmonic. Okay, now this first lick is, that is still palm muted, still 16th notes. Open A twice, then 3rd fret on the low D string twice, 5th fret twice, then 1st fret twice. So it's, so far the verse is, then we repeat it, but now we have that chuggy pain in the ass riff. Now, there's a bunch of different ways to play that. You might want to do it, you know, all down, or, you know, down up, or, you know, maybe just a hammer on. But, you know, however you find you're doing it the cleanest, that's usually the best way. So that's the rhythm of the verse. The next thing I want to do is I play 2 different melodies over the verse. One is more of a melody, the second one's more of an improv. So let's go over that melody. So it starts off here. I use my middle finger on the 11th fret. I do a half bend back and forth, then slide to the 5th fret. So that's this. And now we have this sort of little mini sequence. This is in 5th position, starting with my pinky on the D string, 8th fret. Next string, G string, 5, and then 7, back to 5. Now back down to the D string, 8, G string, 7, 5, back to 8. So that's really slow. Down to 5, down to 4 on the D string. And I'm putting a little palm mute on that. Now I have this easy pull-off lick on the open D string. And that's just pull off from 1, 4, 5, back to 4. And then I do this. That's just 5 and 3 on the A string. So really slow, that whole thing. So the first half is. Okay, the second half. Starting on the 3rd string, 7th fret. And I do a little whammy action here. Little dive bomb. And bring it back up on the A, which is on the 10th fret of the B string. Okay, next I have this D7th arpeggio that I do. It's like a 5-string arpeggio pattern, and it sounds like this. It's not that bad. I'll show you how to do it. Starting on the 9th fret, A string. 1 downstroke, 2 notes. 9, 12. Next string, 1 downstroke, 2 notes. 10, 12. What I would do to practice this is build it up slowly. So I just do this as an exercise. And then incorporate another one. The next string, we're just doing, on the G string, just 11. And then we're going to do on the next string, 1 downstroke, 2 notes, 10, 13. Sorry. So then on the next string, we do the 10th fret, 1st string. Okay, now we have a sequence, and this sequence spans positions. So I'm going to show it to you really slow right now. That's how that goes. So now I'm going to attempt to call out each note without scrambling my brain. Let me get close to the camera here so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, starting on the E string. 11, B string, 13, E string, 10, B string, 11, 13, 10, 11, next string, G, 12, back to the B string, 10, G string, 11, 12, shift down to 8, 11, 7, 8. Now, next string, 10, back to the G string, 7, D string, 8, 10, 8, 7. So far we have. And now we have this little Middle Eastern sounding lick. It's 8, then hammer on, pull off back and forth between 7 and 8. Then A string, 10, 9. Then I do a slide down. to the 5th fret on the A string, like a harmonic with a whammy. So that whole arpeggio sequence bit, I'll do it super slow first, then close to tempo. Okay, so here's what it sounds like up to speed. Okay, so that's the melody part in the verse. Okay, there's a second verse with more of like an improv sort of bluesy feel to it. Okay, something to note here. I think I might have tuned my lead guitar up to standard, but it doesn't really matter. It's only 2 notes, so I can adjust. So it starts off with this, classic rock and roll unison bend where you put your pinky on the 13th fret of the B string and you do a bend here on the 12th fret. Make sure you hit it at the same time and make it nasty. Then we have on the G string 10, 12, and then on the D string 12. So next we have the sequence. So that starts on the D string 10th fret. And that's 10, 12, 13, 12, 10. So 10, 12, 13, 12, 10, 13, 12, 10. Then we go down to the A string, 13, back to the D string, 12, 10, back down to the A string. That's 13, 12, back to the D string, 10, back to the A string, 13, 12, 10, 13, 12, 10. And then we do a little like trilly sort of half step bend on the 9th fret. And you can do then 12, 10, slide down on the low string. Now we have this sort of Van Halen lick, but I do that with the whammy. So that is just a straight up rock and roll lick. That's on the B string, 10, 13, hammer on. Then on the, make sure you use the whammy bar at the same time. This whammy bar is kind of easy because this one doesn't go up. It only goes down. So that's the type of licks that you can get with this. So that's 10, 13, then 10 on the E string, 10 on the B string. And then I do a bend on the 13th fret. Then bring it down, pull off to 10, back to 13. And I'm using the whammy bar to be more expressive throughout. Now this I was sort of, I didn't really plan this part out. I sort of went from major to minor, which I guess might be a no-no, but I like the way it sounded anyway. So I went hammer on 10 to 12, 10 to 13 on the B string, sorry. Now I went. So that's pull off 14 to 10 on the E string. And then you play the 13th fret on the B string. Now, I expand the shape to go up to the 15th fret. And then I go back down to the 13th fret. and I alternate between. So it's like that. Now we have this really annoying 16th note triplet little pattern that I do. So okay, the way you do this, there's a few ways. You can do this with mostly, fretting, or you can do it with picking. Either way is fine. It's what you're more comfortable with, or what you like the way it sounds better. So here's what we're doing. So on that B string, we're doing 13, 15, 17, and then on the E string, we're just doing one note, an upstroke on 13, then back down. So the pattern is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, if your picking is not that fast, or if you'd rather do it the legato way, it sounds fine. That's fine. Or if you want to go, either way, my picking's not that great, so I think I do a little bit of both. Anyway, so that's the first part of that pattern. Then we go up 2 frets, and we do these notes. So it's 15, 17, 18 on the B string, then 15 on the E string. So and then we do it twice on each little pattern there, until we get to the third one. The third pattern we only do once, and that's going to be 17, 18, 20 on the B string and 17 on the E string. So it's real slow. Now we're going to do this sort of pentatonic, picking pattern. If you know the pentatonic scale, it's like going down the A pentatonic scale. But if you don't, here are the frets. 20, 17, 20, 17, 19, 17. And then a bend on the 20th fret up to the D. So that whole little run section, it sounds like this. This was really a pain in the ass when I was doing it, so let me see if I can do it up to tempo now. Something like that. Okay, in the middle of the song, we have a similar thing with the intro, with the clean chords again, and I play just a little bit less with the lead part. So it's that same sort of laser beam down to the E on the 9th fret. But now I do a half step bend, back down, and resolve that on the D, the 12th fret of the D string. And now I do another slide on the B string up to the 13th fret. So it's and then we do the same like we did before. And now we change this a little bit. So that is bend the 15th fret on the E string, pinky 16th fret, while it's bent, bring it down. So here I'm bringing that down. Bring it down, then pull off. Now, the next string. So I bend that 15th fret on the B string, and while it's bent up, I play the E string, 13th fret, play the B string again, bring it down, pull off, and then 15th fret on the G string. And then we end that with a half step bend on back and forth on the 14th fret of the G string. So there's that intro, second intro break. Towards the end of the song, we do a little, we play with the theme a little bit of the chorus. It starts off the same way as the regular chorus, which is, but instead of going, it goes. Then we do a half step bend on the 14th fret. And back down and hit it again. So now I do a little hinting at a melodic minor here. On the B string, I go, that's 12, 14, 15. Then on the G string, 15 twice. So that sounds like. Now we have this another quick little like hammer-on pull-off lick. So that's all on the third string, and that's just 14, 15, 14, 13, 14. Now that goes right into another sweep arpeggio. Now that is an A7 sweep arpeggio. And that's just this. 14, 14, 12, 15. So now we go back and we're going to morph this A7th arpeggio into a diminished arpeggio. So a C sharp diminished arpeggio. Now from there we go. That is on the B string, 14, downstroke, E string, 12, upstroke on the 15th fret, slide up 3 frets until you get to 18. And now we do the same thing again. Like same pattern. And that is starting on the B string again, 17, on the E string 15, upstroke 16, slide up to 21. And then we do it again. I think it's. I might just play that note twice. Yeah. I'd probably just play that last note of the arpeggio twice. And then I end it, resolve it on the 22nd fret. And just like before, slide down from 22 to 17. And now I bend, half step bend 21. Back down 22. And bend that up a whole step twice. And then I go back down here and I start doing a like Eddie Van Halen kind of lick. But let's review that again. Okay, so the next thing we do is like sort of like an Eddie Van Halen hard rock kind of lick. Starts out like this. That's 10 on the E string, 13 full bend on the B string. Now we have this, and that's 10 on the E string, pull off 13 to 12, 13 to 10 on the B string, then 13 on the G string. Back to an upstroke on that E string 10. So it's back to the G string, and that's 13, 12, 10. Now I do this. So that is 12, 10, 12, 13, 12, 10, next string, 12. Okay, after that, now I do this sort of like, I guess, jazzy, like harmonic minor thing. And I slide on the G string from 10 to 9. On the next string, I do a pull off from 12 to 11. And then I do another pull off on the next string from 13 to 12. So it's. Okay, now we do like total Van Halen. that's 10 on the B string, then bend on the 13th fret, play the first string 10th fret, then the second string 10th fret. So then I do this sort of back and forth arpeggio lick. And that is 13 on the E string, pull off to 10, and 10 on the B string, and then alternate with 15. So, and then I go up to a D minor arpeggio. And that is 17, 13 on the E string, 15 on the B string, back to 13. So it's, oh, sorry. And then I do this sort of, this descending sequence. That is a lot of, hammer-on pull-offs, not a lot of picking. So it starts off with this sort of, 3-note per string, same thing on the first 2 strings. That's the basic sequence. This is something I learned from Paul Gilbert. So this is, and that's all on 18, 17, 15. So we have 18, 17, 15, next string, 18, back to the E string, 15, 17. Then we do, 18, 17, 15, 18, 17, 15. So it's now starting on the B string. Okay, I do a little shifting here. So check this out. We got that. Now, this next pattern is a little tricky. It goes 18, 17, 15 on the B string, 18, back on the next, back to the B string, 15, 17, 18, 17, 15, and now I shift down on the G string to 17, 15, 14. So it's, now watch this, pay attention to this part. Shift. So now starting the pattern again from the G string, same 2 frets on the G and D strings, and that's just 15, 14, excuse me, that's 17, 15, 14, next string, 17, back to G string, 14, 15, and then 17, 15, 14, 17, 15, 14, and then slide down to 11. So the whole thing looks like this and sounds like this. All right, so here it is up to tempo. So now we do a straight up blues lick. I slide up to the 12th fret on the D string. So that's just, so we do a full step bend, 12th fret, G string, then 10-10 on B and E, then pull off 13-10 on the B string, then we do a bend on the G string, 12th fret, back down to 12, 10, and then we go to 12 on the D string. So it's, and then we end that with, on the G string, 10, 12, B string, 10, back to G string, 10. And then we go back to that old B flat thing. Okay, now at the very end, I change the pattern. It's no longer, because I needed it to be longer. So the pattern is now probably something lifted directly from Yngwie, but maybe. Actually, this is something my friend Rocco Monterosso taught me, and it's a lick he played once, and I said, you got to show me that lick, and now I put it in this song. So anyway, that's what licks are for. So it starts off like this. So it goes like this. One pick, all these notes on the E string. It's 17, 18, 17, 15. So, and then we do then 17, 15. So that's next string. That's 17 to 14. And now we shift. Now we do one pick again. This is on the B string now. And that's 15, 17, 15, 14. And then we do another pick. And that's 15, 14. Next string, one pick, and that's 15, 12. Now we do the same exact pattern, but starting on the G string. It's just the same thing. Okay, here's where it gets really tricky. Then I go up one fret and I do our old gypsy jazz diminished run. So that goes like this. And this starts on the A string, 11, 14, next string, 12, 15, next string, 13, 16. So it's go back to the D string, 12, 15, next string, 13, 16. Now you skip a fret and you do 15, 15, 18. So it's... Now I change it up a little bit here because I had to extend it for the ending. Now I do it like this. So I go back to the G string and I go 13, 16. Now my middle finger, I go 15 on the B string. And then with my first finger, I go 13 on the E string. So the whole thing up to there looks like this. Back, and now I do the other diminished arpeggio, the sweep one. So, and now I do. And if you're wondering, if you forgot from before, that is just pull off from 16 to 13. So upstroke, then upstroke on 15 on the B string, downstroke 16 on the G string, downstroke 15 on the B string, downstroke on the 13 on the E string. Then you go up 3 frets, same pattern. All right, so here's what the whole thing looks like. Now at the end, just like the other times, you're only going to do a 2-string arpeggio. So that's 22, pull off to 19. Then on the next string you do 21, sorry. Then back to 19. And now on 21 on the E string, you're going to do like this trill sort of bend. And then the last lick is this. This is a bitch because you need to have good aim. So it's one pick. And that's 17, 18, 17, 16, 17, slide up to 22. Okay, we can't get off that easy because there's one more harmony part. It's the harmony to that last. And this is sort of tricky. This is... so that's how that goes. Again, it's like a similar pattern. It's... one pick on the E string, so it's 13, 15, 13, 12. then pick 13, 12. And on the next string, the B, you're going to do 14, 11. And then when you go on the next string, the same sort of picking pattern. And that's going to be 11, 13, 11, 10, then pick 10, 11, 10. And then the next string, you're going to pick 12, 9. So it's, sorry. And then it repeats. Okay, the only thing left to do now is harmonize that very last lick. Now we already know the harmony for the B flat, you know, the one with the stretch. But after that, we have to harmonize that lick, which was that whole thing. So the good news is diminished chords and arpeggios are built strictly on minor thirds. So that means we can just move this entire lick, you know, sorry. That whole thing, we can just move it down 3 frets. And do the exact same lick, which was... But instead of ending on that C sharp note, we're going to end on the A note, 17th fret, E string, and do that half step trill bend. And the same, and I just double that same last lick. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching.